well. And also a lot of resource persons have, come forward to associate with Bharat Sahodaya. We have been giving a lot of, enriching sessions, and we have been trying to give as much as possible to the teaching fraternity, to the educators. And I'm very glad that we are associating again with Ms. Sujata Girish. This is the second time. In fact, she had given a session on CBE, competency-based education, in the very beginning last year in the month of August. That was a very enriching session, and I'm very pretty sure that you are going to get benefited from this session of course as well. So, to add to the pleasure of each and everyone, and on behalf of Bharat Sahodaya, we would like to tell you that we have launched our YouTube channel, and I take this opportunity to congratulate and thank all those who have worked behind this channel, especially Miss Shibi Anand, who was, the last moderator, and Mr. Arun and Mr. Arafat, who belong to my team. So happy to launch it. We have already launched it, but you can just, see those who haven't seen the channel. I would like to request Abha ma'am to just play the launch, and over to Abha ma'am.
Yes.
And please visit, the link will be posted in the chat box. Please visit and subscribe right now. Over to Abha ma'am. Thank you so much. Have a fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Salam sir. With your permission, I am going to share my screen and show you the channel, and I've already posted the link in the chat box. So let me share. You will be energized to see this actually.
आणि आधीवर लोळ अजून आधीवर असा बदलून काढ.
Humble request, kindly mute your mic, please.
Wait. അതിങ്ങ എടുത്തതിനാ
Sorry, I'm So what energizing music it was. So dear teachers, you are requested to like it, subscribe it, and press the bell icon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Salam sir.
Arun sir, please keep 5 seats vacant, because
yes sir, yes, definitely sir.
I am elated to welcome
പട്ടിക്ക് കുറെ കൊടുത്തതാണല്ലോ വയനാടക്കം പിടിക്കും.
Is there in the meeting? Anna sir is there in the meeting? Okay, I'm elated to welcome our guest for today.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Curiosity is absolutely
Essential.
My child has become very My child sometimes tells me things that even I don't know. And if I ask her where she can do that from, that's through Orchids, through her teacher. And that's not even part of the portion. So the teachers are not only focusing on teaching what's in the books, but they're also focusing on imparting knowledge. And I think those values, when they look at what I value the most about Orchids.
Choose a school with high personalized attention. Choose Orchids, the international school. Visit our website today.
Okay, thank you so much, Arun sir. Okay, I'm elated to welcome our guest for today, Dr. Anas. He's also one of the most dynamic
Very difficult.
of the Oxford group of schools, the Oxford School Calicut. He's MA in psychology, PhD. He's also a psychological counselor.
Very good afternoon, dear friends. We got a little late because of the overwhelming response that we received So
There's
we
a lot
will be
of
starting in a
disturbance. I
bit.
don't know from there where this voice is coming, sound is coming.
So welcome you to the CBSE NPSC webinar, much awaited webinar since 1st of May, when we got the circular on tabulation of the
Arun sir, can
assessment
you please
for class
do
10.
something?
Yes, ma'am.
Just awaiting the arrival of the CBSE.
This is some old videos
So
being
once he's
played.
in, we'll start formally. But thank you for your
the assessment
patience.
video is being played.
And please hang on.
Okay, 1 minute. I think it's from my end.
Someone is doing
Sorry, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. It was from my
YouTube channel.
yes.
Miss Abha.
Something is, I don't know. Yeah, I got it. Yes. It was, I think, happening from my end. I'm really sorry
Yes,
for
ma'am.
that. Okay, I'm sorry, Anna sir. Sir Anna sir is a psychological counselor and neuro-linguistic program practitioner and a hypnotherapist. He's also associated from 18 years in the training field and has served in India, UAE, Qatar, Oman, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Maldives, etc. I welcome you with all respect to this webinar, sir. May I request Dr. Anas to address the gathering, please?
Thank you very much.
Good evening, sir.
So first of all, good evening, all educators. A warm good evening from my part. And I'm really excited to see the number of participants in this webinar. Maybe the first time I ever see a Sahodya's webinar like this, 800 above participants at a time. There are lots of kind of webinars going on in education field for principals, CBSE, and everywhere. But this is something different. I feel this platform gives something good to the stakeholders. Maybe because of that, this is much excitedly all people are attending here. It's great, wonderful job or wonderful venture from Bharat Sahodaya. I have to wholeheartedly appreciate Bharat Sahodaya and its secretary, the veteran, Dr. Abdul Salam. I know him personally. He is our sister school principal from Toronto and a very good trainer. And we all know that. And I've been watching some of your videos here in Bharat Sahodaya's FB, Facebook page. And now another exciting thing is that your YouTube channel also got launched today. So I could witness that as well. It's a great opportunity for me also. It's a privilege for me also. So really it's a boon. It's a great thing happening here because I've been invited as a guest. I'm very much privileged to being a guest here in front of you all. And in the absence of President, Mr. Sabu and Miss Abbas Singh and all other principals, all other educators, it's my pleasure to greet you all. And I believe that this is not at all wise to continue with the talk in this time, especially because you all have been waiting for another very interesting session of Miss Sujata Girish. And she is a well-known trainer. She must be a good orator and she will be giving you the great content that we all have been waiting for. Once again, thank Bharat Sahodaya, Dr. Abdul Salam for giving me an opportunity like this. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for coming and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you. Abha, ma'am, are you there?
Ma'am, you didn't unmute.
Yes. So I'm really sorry. Yeah. So now it is time to introduce to you the captain of today's ship of learning, our resource person, Dr. Sujata Girish. She is an eminent educator for 20 years, the founder principal of Daffodils Foundation for Learning, Bangalore, and a CPSE resource person. She is not only admission but a multifaceted personality. She is trained classical dancer and the cultural activities of the school. and also assist in choreography. She also does the performances program. No wonders how inspiring it would be for the students. I would accentuate that designing life skills and value education curriculum is close to her heart. She has used multiple intellectual theory effective in teaching and assessment of the students. She is associated with Reva University, Bangalore as an alumnus in various capacities. She has published many research papers on varied topics, including educational aspects. Dr. Sujata has multiple feathers in her cap. To list a few: State Level Best Actress Award 1990, Guru Puraskar Award by JCI India 2010, Best Teacher by Daffodils English School Association 2011, Best Principal Award by the Indian Talent Group 2018-19, Best Principal for Online Engagement by Edu Excellence 2021, Visionary Principal for the Excellence in Values and Success Skills by Zenic Olympiad 2021. Her motto for life is serve the society as an educator. So dear teachers, we are privileged to get guidance from her today and learn from her experiences in application of MI theory in competency building and assessment designing. May I welcome Dr. Sujata to sail the ship of learning and be the captain and the navigator today for all of us. I hand it over to you, Sujata ma'am. Let's sail it through. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Abha, for that wonderful introduction. I'm going to share my screen now. Mr. Arun, you will have to enable me to share my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Abha, I hope you're able to share the screen. See the screen? Okay.
Not yet, ma'am. Yeah, now I can see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right,
Yes.
right. So, greetings to one and all present here. I am Dr. Sujata, presenting a session on multiple intelligences to build competency on behalf of CBSE Bharat Sahodaya Complex. It gives me immense pleasure to be associated with CBSE Bharat Sahodaya Complex, and I would like to thank Salam sir extensively for giving me this privilege. Mr. Arun, may I request you to mute all the participants? Yeah. Okay. Now, I have a few questions so that I can understand what audiences are feeling about this particular session. I request you all to post your responses in the chat window so that it becomes easy for me to access your responses. Well, some of you must be feeling, despite all your efforts, some of your students are not able to connect well with your class. Am I right? I request you to post your messages in the chat window. Yes, I can see that. Right. Okay. Right. Yes, I understand. Okay, right. So my session hopefully will be able to give answer to all your queries. And some of you must be feeling you're not able to hold the attention of your students despite all your efforts. Am I right? Yeah. I understand quite a few educators will be feeling this because as a young educator, I also went through same problems. And a very important question which bothers the educators, while some students respond well, some students find it very difficult. Am I right? Do we come across this problem also? Yes. Yeah, I can see the responses. Most of us feel like this because I remember when I was a young educator, when I didn't know much about multiple intelligences, I too had this problem. I too felt, why is it that when I take so much of trouble to come prepared for the class, my students fail to understand what I want to teach them? Okay, now let me take you through this session so that you're able to understand well what it is all about. Right. I would like to begin my session with a beautiful thought by Swami Vivekananda. I give a second for you to understand the quote. I'm going to pose a few questions based on this. Abha, I hope you're able to view the screen.
Ma'am, it has gone. I think right now I'm not able to see it.
You're not able to see the screen? Just a minute. I will try.
Sometime back it was visible. Yeah, I can see your screen, the computer screen, but nothing else. Your desktop screen is visible to me as of now. If you can reshare your PPT.
Just a minute, yeah. I will reshare. Yeah. Okay, I hope. I have opened. Correct time open. Okay.
Yeah, now it's visible. You can make it in the slideshow mode, ma'am. Yeah, it's visible, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So
loud and clear.
So some of you have responded to my queries, right? So now most of our queries, we can get the answer by attending to this particular session, that is multiple intelligences to build competency. Abha has already explained what is the need of competency for us and why competency is very important in current scenario. And thank you, Abha, for giving a befitting introduction to this particular session. I have shared this thought earlier. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. Quoted by Swami Vivekananda, I unquote. According to Swami Vivekananda, every individual is blessed with some kind of skill, a perfection. And the duty of us, the educators, is to bring out that perfection which is already there in an individual. It is the primary duty of all of us to hone those skills which are hidden. Let me talk about the learning objectives of this session. To understand about the theory of multiple intelligences, to discuss about the strengths of the students with different intelligences, to delineate about competency-based education, to plan activities for students with different MI for effective classroom transaction, and to discuss about the various ways of integrating multiple intelligences theory to build competency in different subjects. In fact, thanks to you all, you have submitted interesting queries in your registration forms that also has enabled me to develop this particular content so that it answers most of your queries during this presentation. Let us understand more about the person who is behind this MI theory and what is it all about. Howard Gardner is an American developmental psychologist and a research professor of cognition and education at Harvard Graduate School of Education. And he is best known for his theory of multiple intelligences. According to Howard Gardner, human beings exhibit multiple intelligences. Human intelligences can be classified into 8 core forms of intelligences. And let me also mention here, some of us are already blessed with some intelligences, and some of us during the course of our life, we develop these intelligences. Quite a few times when I talk about this topic, educators do ask me, is it possible for somebody to have all the kinds of intelligences? And my answer is sometimes yes, it is possible in a few people, but we cannot generalize our observations. Now, based on the specific abilities that human beings possess, their intelligence can be categorized under one of those core forms of intelligences. Let us understand what they are. Through a video, I'm going to take you. I'll just go off camera so that you can enjoy the video.
Hey, what's going on? Doing some reading there? Yes, well, you know, I turn to poetry when matters of the heart weigh heavily on me. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Oh, no. He makes his move. He's dividing both sides by I. He's adding back the coefficient. He has a value for P. Putting that back in, he takes the derivative and he solves the equation. The crowd goes wild.
I hope that was with a little bit of humor, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. Now, let me take you through this MI chart. According to Dr. Howard Gardner, as I mentioned to you earlier, there are 8 different kinds of intelligences, and the different kinds of intelligences are reflected in this particular chart. The first one is, there is no specific order. I'm reading as per the chart, whatever is mentioned here, is verbal or linguistic intelligence. The people who can use language to present their ideas, to express their feelings, or to persuade others are said to be possessing linguistic or verbal intelligence. The next one is logical or mathematical intelligence. The children who have the skills of reasoning, logical thinking, handling mathematical problems come under this category. Visual and spatial intelligence. The children who are good in creating and interpreting visual images, thinking in 3 dimensions, they have this kind of intelligence. Bodily or kinesthetic intelligence, this is one thing all the educators must understand because it is really significant. In a classroom, most of the educators and most of the learners, the students exhibit this kind of intelligence. And the children who have this kind of intelligence, they express their feelings and their emotions through their body language, through their gestures, through their facial expressions. Basically, they involve the entire body movement to express their feelings. In your classrooms, you would have come across some students who can never sit in one place. They are always fidgeting around, and they can never sit idle for a single minute also. Have you come across such children in your class? I request you to send your responses on your chat window. Yes, yes, good. Quite a few of you. Huh. And what do we term them most of the times? We keep thinking these children are naughty, hyperactive, very good. What else? Any other terms? Hyperactive, yes. Don't we call them naughty, notorious at times? Distracted, yes. Gifted, not every teacher, brands him as gifted. Restless, Renuka says restless, yes. And Rekha says distracted, and Amli says intelligent too. Perfect. Somebody has said ADHD at times, but it cannot be again generalized. Thank you for those brilliant responses. I must admit, I really have a wonderful audience today. Great. Let me move on to the next kind of intelligence, music or rhythmic intelligence. There are a few children who are excellent at creating music and feeling a rhythm to express a mood, detecting and analyzing the musical themes. Have you come across such students in your class? Even when you say, child, can you respond? They are in a humming tune. They are in a sing-song noise. Even when they say, good morning, ma'am, it is never a straight good morning. It is, good morning, ma'am. And sometimes we wonder, child, you have already grown up. Why do you sing song like a nursery child? Yes. Hazel says yes there. Yeah, Samya also says yes there. That is because the child is blessed with musical intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence, I can quote a few examples. There are some children who do not want to be a part of the group activities. They're very happy by themselves. They're very happy to be alone. They love being to themselves. And we keep wondering, why is this child sitting aloof all the time? Have you come across such children? Yes. Again, Rekha says yes. Chitra says, I too go with the same rhythm. That's nice. Great. That's a nice way of responding to your learners' needs, Chitra. I appreciate that. You also must be blessed with musical intelligence. Okay, now coming to intrapersonal, quite a few are responding yes, great. Seeking attention. Yes, so such students are supposed to be blessed with intrapersonal intelligence. That is understanding your own interior thoughts and feelings in a very clear way. Though they're aloof, though they like to be all by themselves, they have a clear opinion about their likes, their dislikes. They have understanding of their self-awareness very well. And next intelligence is interpersonal intelligence. There are some students in our classes who are always heroes. They're very popular among their juniors, among their seniors, among their peers, and very popular among the teachers also. Any task given to them, within no time, they will be able to complete. They have very good leadership skills. They have very good collaborative skills. Have you come across such students in your classes? Okay, of course, Soumya says yes. Rekha again says yes. Sudha says yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Because these are all the common experiences we all have as educators. Such children are generally nominated as class leaders or group leaders all the time, isn't it? Yes, again there I get affirmative responses every batch. Wonderful, wonderful. So these are the students who are blessed with interpersonal intelligence because they can understand the feelings, needs, and purposes of other students. Not only other students, it could be teachers, even in the family, if you see, they might be siblings, they might be having same genes, but some children are outgoing, they are very comfortable to gel well with others, whereas some children would like to be all by themselves. They are not so very comfortable in mixing around with people. Do not brand them as introvert or extrovert. Understand the reality. One child is blessed with intrapersonal intelligence and another child is blessed with interpersonal intelligence. I hope you are in sync with my ideas. Ready to take responsibility? Yes, Payal. Yes, I agree with that. Curious? Yes, Kanchan, they are curious. God-gifted child. Humira, I feel every child is God-gifted. Only thing is we need to identify the kind of intelligence a child is blessed with and try to connect with them accordingly. Okay, and the last one is naturalist intelligence. Well, there are quite a few children who are not so attracted by the teacher's teaching as they're attracted by the humming of the bees, by the flying butterflies, or by the chirping of the birds. If at all you have a garden adjacent to your school building or your classroom, the children are all the time busy looking at the swinging and swaying of the trees rather than looking at the blackboard. Do you agree with me? Curious to know nature, Shri Vidya says. Yes, but they connect to nature and environment. Gigi, perfect answer, brilliant answer. Well, I say these are the children who are blessed with natural intelligence. When I was a young educator, I used to get irritated. I'm teaching in the class, and this child, instead of looking at the blackboard and trying to understand what I'm saying, why is he looking out of the window? Little did I know about multiple intelligences then. Now that multiple intelligences is a topic which is very close to my heart. Since last 10 years, I have been educating teachers about this, and many of them have benefited, of course, after going through this kind of a workshop. So the children who are blessed with naturalist intelligence can understand nature, seeing patterns in the way nature works, and classifying things. I hope you have broadly understood what are the different kinds of intelligences. Sunita says why, that stands for yes. Well, friends, I'm sure you will all have quite a few queries. Let us all take it up towards the end of the session. You can write down your queries regarding the session. Definitely, we will have an interactive session towards the end. Well, now let us move ahead and move on to the next slide. Meaning of competency. This particular session, we are going to see how multiple intelligences can be used to build the competency of our students. And for that, let us understand what competency refers to. In the field of education, a competency is defined as a piece of knowledge, an individual skill or an ability. I would like to focus on the key word skill, individual skill or an ability, developed in a transparent way, attuned to the academic expectations of a particular level. Again, here, we must remember this, a particular level. We have different expectations from a grade 6 child and different expectations from a grade 10 child. Do you agree with me? Can we generalize our expectations? No, right? We have different kinds of expectations from a grade 6 child and different kind of expectations from a grade 10 child. Okay, well, let us move ahead. What is competency-based education? Abha has already explained. I would like to reiterate upon that for the benefit of the participants who have joined a little later. CBE is an outcome-based approach to education to ensure proficiency in learning by students through demonstration of knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes required for dealing with real-life situations at the age and grade appropriate level. Please underline this keyword, real-life situations. Somewhere, CBSE felt there is a gap between what the students learn in the classrooms and what happens in reality outside the classroom in the real-life situation. That is the reason competency-based education has been strongly advocated. In fact, the year academic session 2020 was termed as CBE year because the theme of the year 2020-2021 by CBSE was competency-based education. Last year, all of us went through tremendous number of training programs. Diksha also launched courses on CBE. That is because first we as educators must understand what CBE is all about, and then we will be in a better position to guide our children towards CBE learning. And this year, again, a lot of efforts has been taken by CBSE, and recently they have released a handbook on assessments based on competency. Now let us understand what is the relevance of CBE in national education policy. As I informed earlier, there is a gap in what they learn and what there is in the real life situation. To close the gap in achievement of learning outcomes, classroom transactions will shift towards competency-based learning and education. The assessment tools, including assessment as, of, and for learning, will also be aligned with the learning outcomes, capabilities, and dispositions as specified for each subject of the given class. This is taken from page number 12 from NEP 2020 document. I unquote. Now, to understand the importance of CBE as per CBSE, let me take you through a video. Over to you. Please enjoy the video. And of course, make a note of the contents you happen to see in the video.
Rote learning has been a common practice in schools across India, a system defined by memorization, a system that focuses more on content-based learning. With the visionary National Education Policy 2020, the focus has now shifted from content to competency. The new policy calls for a breakdown in artificial barriers between subjects and development of higher-order thinking skills. It highlights the need for an assessment system that encourages real learning. Competency-based learning enables high-quality education in real-life context. It emphasizes on predefined competencies at each level of the student's learning journey and takes them beyond the confines of their textbook, linking their learning to life. To support competency-based education, British Council entered into a partnership with the Central Board of Secondary Education in March 2020 and launched the Competency-based Education Project. As a part of this project, British Council and its knowledge partner Alpha Plus, in partnership with CBSE India, present the Competency-based Assessment Framework. Designed in collaboration with UK experts, the assessment framework provides professional development to education system leaders, teachers, and examination designers. Under the direction and guidance of CBSE, the project uses assessment as a driver and motivator of change in teaching quality in the classroom. Overall, the Competency-based Education Project provides mentorship support for the teachers, embeds new learning into classroom teaching practice, guides reading, English, maths, and science teachers of classes 6 to 10 to drive practical learning, strengthens the capacity of schools to create high-quality competency-based question papers. This project will directly support 15 education leaders, 2,000 school principals, 15 senior government leaders, 180 test item writers, 360 master trainers, which will further impact 25,000 CBSE schools that include 2,000 JNVs and KVs, 132,000 teachers, and 20 million learners by 2024. 4 high-profile UK organizations will contribute their expertise to the project. The Competency-based Education Project aims to bring about systemic change in teaching, learning, and assessment practices by 2024. The project will not only make a lasting impact on the education ecosystem, but will also help students realize their potential so that they can fully contribute to making the country and the world safe, sustainable, prosperous, and peaceful.
Thank you all for watching. Dr. Pragya says, please share this video for everybody's benefit. This video is available on the YouTube channel. You can also go to the CBSE website. You will have an idea of this video. It is, if you just type competency-based education in CBSE, you will be able to get this video. I hope now you understand the vision of the CBSE with respect to competency-based education. Now, let me bring you to the main aspect. This slide is very important, dear educators. Multiple intelligence and skills. or we can also call them competencies. Linguistic intelligence students will be skilled with words. Again, let me relate skilled when I say it is referring to a specific competency. Skills can be read as competency. Bodily or kinesthetic intelligence, the students are blessed with physical skill or competency. Musical intelligence, skilled or competent with melody and rhythm. Spatial intelligence, skilled with pictures and images. Interpersonal intelligence, skills of social understanding. Intrapersonal intelligence, skills of self-knowledge. Logical or mathematical intelligence, skilled with numbers and reasoning. Naturalistic intelligence, skills of making connection with elements of nature. Again, I reiterate, when I read skills, please take it as competencies. Okay. Now, again, I have a question for you. Now, I hope you are all familiar with what multiple intelligences refer to. I'm waiting for your responses on the chat window. Rashmi says, thank you. You're welcome, Rashmi. But I hope you have understood what MI refers to and how multiple intelligences are directly connected to competency. Yes, thank you so much. Perfect, perfect. Brilliant audience. Now, let us understand how to identify the students with different intelligences. Quite a few times when I take a session on MI, the teachers do ask me, ma'am, how do we identify which kind of intelligence is a particular child able to display? Now, what I suggest is, when we welcome the children in the beginning of the session, first 2-3 days, include such activities which will cater to all kinds of intelligences. Observe the students' responses very carefully. If a child is good in linguistic skills, then he exhibits linguistic intelligence. If a child is very good in his bodily movements, then he exhibits a kinesthetic intelligence. Yes, you will have to spend some time, but it is worth it. It is very important for you to understand what kind of learners you have in your classrooms. So few days, 1 or 2 days during your classes, have activities which cater to multiple intelligence requirements, different kinds of intelligences. Okay, when you do that, how do you identify which child has which intelligence? So now I'm going to share with you what are the different traits exhibited by students of different intelligences. The students who are logically intelligent, they are math smart, they're very good at their numerical skills, they enjoy working with numbers. When one set of children feel mathematics is very difficult, there is another set of students who say, wow, I love mathematics. They think in terms of cause and effect, they're very good in reasoning. They easily interpret data and analyze abstract patterns. They demonstrate a very well-developed ability to reason. They're good at chess and computer programming. Now, what are the activities you can include for such students? Playing mathematical games like chess, checkers, and Monopoly, searching for patterns in the classroom, school, outdoors, and home, conducting experiments to demonstrate science concepts, using math and science software which reinforces math skills and logic games, using science toolkits for science programs, designing alphabetic and numeric codes, making up analogies. Well, friends, I'm suggesting these activities. I understand we may not be able to integrate all of it in your classrooms. It can be used as classroom activities. Some of them can be given as home front activity, homework. Some of the activities can be shared with the parents so that parents can engage the students at these activities in the classroom. Please, guide related to English language. Vandana ma'am, as I go through, I will be talking about how to integrate MI in every subject. Do not worry. And I will also be telling how to integrate MI from nursery to senior classes. Definitely. I will take it up. Nutan ma'am, we are yet to complete the session. The session gets over at 6 o'clock. Only then the attendance link will be shared. And we do have interactive session also. It is not nice to ask for attendance link so early. Have patience. Nutan ma'am, I'm sure you understand what I mean. Okay, let us proceed. Some of the other activities which help the students with logical intelligence are gamification. The traditional games, what we used to play with our grandparents, like snake and ladder, is a wonderful way of engaging students with mathematical intelligence. Sudoku is a wonderful game, mathematics puzzles, worksheets based on patterns, visit to mathematics lab, as per CBSE, Ludo, yes, perfect. Tapsi says Ludo, yes, it is a perfect example. And visit to mathematical lab also engages these children very well. And mental math games across all the age groups. For example, when the children are in kindergarten, simple things. You have 2 ice cream sticks. You bring 2 more ice cream sticks and ask them, how much does it make? Or as a children to imagine, I have given you 2 marbles and your brother is going to give 2 more marbles. How much is going to make? Totally, how many marbles are you going to have? So we can start off like that, and with the age appropriate questions, we can have different questions. Next, we move on to the linguistic learners. What are the characteristics or traits exhibited by linguistic learners? They like to read, write, and listen. They're very good at spellings. You don't even have to teach them spellings, but then they are automatically good at them. Just one look at the new spelling, they are comfortable with that. Carom coins, yes, you are giving me very good inputs there. Yes, Sunita, as I told you earlier, I will be sharing all the strategies for every age group and class. Thank you so much. We shall go through that. The children will be sensitive to patterns. They have ability to reason. They like playing word games. They have very good memory for general knowledge, and they are very good at public speaking. Now, coming to the activities, what we can do to engage linguistic learners. Compositions, it could be picture composition, it could be simple paragraph writing, it could be story building, it could be story writing. All these are the activities which can engage students with linguistic intelligence. We can ask them to set tunes to poems and sing them in the classes. Dramatization of the lessons is a wonderful activity. Role play is again a good activity. Picture composition is another way of engaging them. And these activities can be conducted across different classes. Coming to the traits of visually intelligent students, they are picture smart, that is, they're very good at drawing, coloring. They think and process information in pictures and images. Some of the students, they find it very difficult to register when it is written in the bullets. You make a mind map, you make a flow chart, it becomes easy for them to remember. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me when I say, yeah, mind mapping, poster making, yes. So these are the students who are good in visual intelligence. They have excellent visual receptive skills and they have excellent fine motor skills. They use their eyes and hands to make artistic or creatively designed projects. They read maps and they put together multiple number of pieces of jigsaw puzzles with ease. Can you quote an example which cater to all the visual intelligent students? CBSE introduced a beautiful project last year. Can anybody type it? Anybody? Something new we all did last year. Pictorial representation, graphic organizers, yes. AIL, Rekha Saha, one smiley and one star for you. You are the early bird. Art integrated learning, AIL projects, that is pairing up of our state with a different state. That is a beautiful endeavor introduced by CBSE, which cater to the multiple intelligences, I must say. Here, depending on the way you design the project, it can cater to different kinds of intelligences. Moving on, what are the activities which encourage visually intelligent students? Taking photographs for assignments and classroom newsletters, school yearbook, school newsletter or science assignments, using clay or Play-Doh to make objects or represent concepts from content area lessons. Using clay in particular will be very advantageous for nursery age group children and primary grade students. Using pictorial models such as flowcharts, visual maps, this is again relevant to students across all age groups. Venn diagrams and timelines to connect new material to known information. This in particular could be used for secondary and senior secondary students. So following are the activities which encourage visually intelligent students, taking notes using concept mapping, mind mapping, and clustering, using puppets to act out and reinforce concepts learned in the class, using maps to study geographical locations discussed in the class, illustrating poems for the class poetry book, or drawing by using computer software. Again, illustration can be introduced across all the grades. In the lower classes, if the child cannot illustrate the entire poem, we can ask a child to pick up his favorite word or a favorite idea from the poem. They can be asked to draw and color it. And going forward, we can, senior classes, we can ask the students to imagine the content of the poem or the theme of the poem and put up a drawing to represent the theme. This is my favorite, bodily kinesthetic intelligence traits. In fact, I have one complete 1-hour module exclusively on bodily kinesthetic traits. That is because most of our learners exhibit kinesthetic intelligence, and majority of our students are kinesthetic learners. They exhibit highly developed coordination, balance, dexterity, strength, speed, and flexibility. They use expertise in using the entire body to relate thoughts and feelings. They have an ability to manipulate objects skillfully using both fine and gross motor movements. Some of the examples who exhibit KI are dancers, football players, and gymnasts. So what are the activities we can integrate in our classroom? And we have a few more traits. They use one's mental abilities to coordinate one's own bodily movements. As I have shared the examples earlier, they can never keep quiet. Even to go to the restroom, when they have to come and seek your permission, it is with the movement of the body. Ma'am, may I go to restroom? Do you agree with me? They can never stand straight. They are always acting craft is a wonderful idea, speaker. Yes. Okay, even to seek permission to drink water, it is always with some kind of a gesture, some kind of an expression. It is never a straight "ma'am, may I drink water?" It is always with some kind of a body movement. Okay, they have ability to understand things by using one's body or parts of the body. If you explain in simple terms, they find it very difficult to connect with you. You need to associate your explanation with gestures, especially in the nursery classes and primary classes. I keep telling my school teachers, do not look like robots. Have demonstrations, have expressions on your face. Only then students will be able to connect with you. Simple things. Yes, Nalini ma'am, dumb charades is a wonderful idea to integrate with teaching methodologies, especially for kinesthetic learners. Simple things, you know, like when you're teaching fractions, when you're introducing fractions at grade 2 level, it is very difficult for a child to remember what is numerator, what is denominator. So what my school teachers do, thumbs up is numerator and thumbs down is denominator, and there is a sleeping line in between. So with these kind of gestures, they find it very easy to associate. Even when we teach grammar, you know, 8 parts of speech for a child of 3rd grade or 4th grade, it is very abstract. They find it very difficult to remember. So we use a formula in our school, A square, P square, wink, V-I-N-C. And wink is always with a closing of eyes like this, wink. Okay. Can anybody decode this formula for me? I repeat again, A square, P square, wink, V-I-N-C. Anybody? Let me see who is going to be the early bird. A square, P square, wink. Okay, while I wait for the participants to respond, I shall move to the next point. They use their own body to solve a problem, make something, put on production. They are very good at verbal as well as non-verbal communication. Parts of speech acronym, right, Hema ma'am? Great, but can you decode this for me? Right. Adjective, A stands for adjective, another A square. Second adjective, adjective, adverb, perfect, perfect answer, brilliant. Okay, P square stands for? I'm moving on to the next one. A square, we have already got the answers. P square. What do the P square stands for? Yes, V stands for verb. Okay, verb, yes. Well, let me decode it myself. A square stands for adverb, adjective. P square stands for preposition, pronoun. V stands for verb. I for interjection. N for noun. C for conjunction. So now my children remember this very well because it is always associated with some kind of gesture. And what do we mean when we say non-verbal communication? Come on, friends. I wait for your wonderful. Okay, all of you have got, most of you have got the correct answer. Perfect. Yeah, what do we mean when we say non-verbal communication? I wait for your response. Justice, perfect, Sabina. Yeah, we have got the answers for SQP square wing. Gestures, your facial expressions, your body language, everything becomes part of your non-verbal communication. And there are some activities which can be good to entertain or engage kinesthetic learners. Physical activities like climbing, rolling, jumping, crawling, please don't do these activities in the classroom. These are all supposed to be done as outdoor activities. And other outdoor activities which involve physical stimulus are climbing a hill, hikes, walks in the forest, etc. Now, second point, where do you think we can organize? Certainly not in our classroom, certainly not on our playgrounds. So when do we use this? I'm waiting for your responses. Brain breaks is a nice idea, Nalini. Well, the second point can be used when we take our students for some kind of a field trip or school picnics. Sri Vidya says, Meenu also says, yeah. So when we plan our school picnics for the students, let us think of a place, a destination where there is scope for all these kind of activities. Then activities that require them to move about in a large physical space, scavenger hunts, sports activities. All these are the activities which are good for kinesthetic learners. We move on to the next intelligence, musical intelligence. The traits exhibited by musical learners are music art, there's music smart. They think, they feel, and process information primarily through sound. I already gave an example. Even a good morning, ma'am is in a sing-song tone. They have a superior ability to perceive, compose, and perform music. They constantly hear musical notes in their head. You can see some of the students, even when they're sitting quiet, you see them nodding their head as if they're listening to some music. Research and development presentation where we can include role plays, dance demonstration. It's a beautiful idea, Sneha. Playing instruments, a band of the E class. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. You are contributing to this session very beautifully, framing a song of different rules. Manjani, this is a beautiful idea. Framing a song of different rules is a brilliant idea. Wonderful. They bang the table. Sunita, that's a beautiful observation. Yeah, when they bang the table, we get agitated. Why is the child disturbing the class? No, they're musically intelligent. For them, making noise is their way of enjoying the classroom, though it is a distraction to the class. Okay, now what can be the activities for musical learners? Writing their own songs and music about content area topics, putting original poems to music and then performing them for the class. One of the participants has already suggested this activity. Setting a poem to music and then performing it for the class. Incorporating a poem they have written with the melody they already know. Listening to music from different historical periods, though difficult, but it's a beautiful activity. Mimicking great musicians, wonderful activity. Different claps, yes, different claps. Jaisha ma'am is a brilliant activity again. Finger clap, hand clap, or 2 times clap, 3 times clap with some humming noise. These are all perfect way of engaging musical learners. Then a few more activities. Trip recording a poem over appropriate background music. Using rhythm and clapping to memorize math facts and other content area information. Listening to the CDs that teach concepts like alphabets, parts of speech, and states and capitals. Yeah, instead of us going on and on in the monotone, if you can play, if you have a smart board in your classrooms, or if you could take your students to the AV room, and if you can allow them to watch audiovisual CDs relevant to the concept of the lesson, it is really going to entice our musically intelligent learners. Okay, here actually I would love to take a break for all of you. It would be wonderful if you can unmute yourself and clap. But then I don't think with the number of participants we have here, it is possible. So I will give a brief pause for you all to just stand up and clap wherever you are, so that it is some kind of energizing activity for all of us. And I trust you all, you're all good students. I'm sure you're all doing it by yourselves. Those who have finished, do it. You can tell I have finished. I will clap for you all. Well, completed. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I did clapping, and this is the school clap of our school. Finished. Oh, wonderful. You're all, I trust you have really done it, and you're not simply posting, I have done it. Okay, let us move on. Now, intrapersonal intelligence traits, self-smart. The children are self-smart. They have a deep awareness of their feelings, ideas, and goals. They usually need time to process. They want to be alone, and they need time to process and create. Now, certain activities for these students are writing reflective papers on content area topics, writing a literary autobiography, reflecting on their reading life, writing goals for the future and planning ways to achieve them, keeping journals or logs throughout the year, making a scrapbook for their poems, papers, and e-reflections. So the activities which can be done individually and not in a group are the activities. Now coming to interpersonal intelligence, what are the characteristics? These students are people smart, as I have explained earlier. They have a natural ability to interact with, relate to, and get along with others effectively. They are very good leaders, listeners, and they're also very good leaders. They use their insights about others to negotiate, persuade, and obtain information. They like to interact with others and usually have lots of friends. There is no age bar. They are very popular among grannies and grandpas. They're very popular among the little toddlers also. Have you come across such children in your families as well? They are the apple of eyes. Whether it is classroom or it is home front, they are there. You know, they're the most sought after children in the families. Okay, now certain activities for them. Working in cooperative groups to design and complete projects. Working in pairs to learn math facts. Interviewing people with knowledge about content area topics. Tutoring younger students or classmates. Well, peer learning, peer teaching is one of the pedagogies strongly advocated by the CBSE. So we can have the senior children who are good in interpersonal skills, teaching the younger children. Of course, they should be familiar with the topic. They can be engaged with these activities. It will benefit both the age group students. Using puppets to put on a puppet show. These are all the activities we can use to engage these kind of learners. Now, we move on to the next segment, naturalistic intelligence traits. I have already explained to you, the teacher is busy teaching in the class, but the children are busy looking out of the window, admiring the nature. Okay, they're fascinated by the swinging and swaying of the trees and the buzzing of the bees, rather than listening to the teacher or watching the whiteboard or smartboard or blackboard. They have multiple ways of interacting with the student these days. They are nature smart. They enjoy being in nature and they want to protect it from pollution. Anytime you give a drawing activity, they're all the time drawing about scenery rather than anything else. For them, nature, the representation of nature is most soothing activity than anything else. They easily recognize and categorize plants, animals, and rocks. While some students find it difficult to comprehend, these children love doing such activities. They connect with the nature and elements of nature. They're quite fascinated to collect different parts of the plant or different kinds of the leaves, different kinds of feathers. Have you come across such children? Nature painting, yes, Jaishiman. Nature painting, observational skills. Yeah, okay. Now, activities which can cater to these kind of students are caring for classroom plants, sorting and classifying natural objects such as leaves and rocks, researching animal habitats, observing natural surroundings, organizing or participating in park, playground cleanups, recycling drives, and beautification projects. Now, how do we build competency in different subjects based on MI? This was a query of quite a few participants in the registration form and of course in the chat window. Now I take you through these particular slides. How can we integrate MI-based activities in languages? Compositions is a wonderful way. Setting tunes to poems and singing them in the classroom is a good idea. Dramatization of the lesson helps them because then they have to memorize the content. In senior classes, you can ask the students to write the script and memorize it and enact it. If they find it difficult to memorize and if the period of preparation is very small, they may be permitted to see the script and enact. Role play is again a good idea. Role play is a simple activity because it doesn't need costumes, it doesn't need the props. You just have to allot different roles to different students. It could be a story, it could be a normal lesson. And ask the children to speak about their particular roles. It could be, for example, you are introducing a poem. You can ask a particular child to play the role of the poet. The child can do a little bit of research, understand about the background of the poet. He can come and say, I am so and so. This is my interest. This is my background. And this is why I wrote this kind of poetry. So this all helps the students to enhance their linguistic skills. Picture composition, it is especially helpful for children who have got vivid imagination. Now, these are the activities which are applicable to nursery and primary classes. Make up stories and tell them to someone else. Do you agree with me when I say our children are very good at making up stories? Do you agree with me that it could be a toddler of 3 years, it could be a senior secondary student? Aha, you tell them, they will come up with wonderful stories. Sometimes you keep wondering, wow, what kind of a storytellers I have in my class. Sometimes you really have to tap your brains to understand whether it is a true story or it is a made-up story. Yeah. Okay. Put together a family, school, or work magazine or a newsletter. Learn new words every day, especially for lower classes. It helps them to enrich their vocabulary. It's a brilliant activity. Use a computer to write. These days, computer literacy is a part of our education across all the grades. Even the little ones, especially with online class scenario, every child is familiar with the gadgets. So encourage them to use a computer to write because technology literacy is one of the 21st century skills you're all familiar with. Do crosswords and puzzles, age appropriate again. Play vocabulary games. It's a brilliant activity to encourage the nursery and primary classes. Singing and dancing. It could be rhymes at nursery grades. Primary grades, even concepts like water cycle or parts of the plant can all be introduced through singing and dancing. Especially primary grades, the more kinesthetic a teacher is, the better learners the students are going to be. Now coming to higher classes, the multiple intelligence-based activities have debates about current events, read different kinds of novels, stories, jokes, and write stories and jokes. Write letters, emails to pen pals. These days, writing letters has become an obsolete habit. You can encourage them to write letters to their grandparents, probably their cousins, probably their friends. Write book reviews and product reviews is a brilliant activity. Make advertisements on the given product. Keep a journal, write poems. Do puzzles and crosswords. Interview friends, family, and mentors. Now coming to the social sciences, these are the activities which are productive in teaching social sciences through multiple intelligence-based pedagogies. Okay, now when I say pedagogy, what do we understand by pedagogy? Pedagogy is a term which all of us need to know by now. We are all educators of 21st century. What do we mean by pedagogy? No, it is not brochure. Maybe ma'am is trying to suggest brochure is a good idea for linguistic skills. Yeah, methodology, wonderful, wonderful. Methodology, yeah. Pedagogy refers to the different kinds of teaching methodologies we employ, the different kinds of instructional practices we employ to put, yes, teaching strategies. To put it in a nutshell, the art and science of teaching is pedagogy. It is an art because we need to identify the kind of learners we have in our class and devise a strategy. It is a science because we have to systematically integrate in our lesson plans and use it in our classrooms. So the art and science of teaching is pedagogy. So for social sciences, the pedagogies can be mind map, flowcharts, chart making, explanation by the students, map marking, flip classes, role play, group discussion. Now, activities for mathematics, quite a few times I hear teachers telling, ma'am, it is very difficult to think of different activities in mathematics. I believe it is a myth. If you are willing to learn, if you're willing to think out of the box, certainly it is possible. Storytelling, all our case studies, what has been introduced by CBSE of late to improve the critical thinking of the students, is all about storytelling. Our statement sums, our problem sums, they are all simple stories, small stories. The case studies are examples of engaging the students with MI. Discussion and solutions need not be one-way traffic, everything delivered by the teacher. You can always engage your students, engage your learners. Flashcard making of new words, new formula, new concept is a nice activity. Coming to the science, again, role play. For example, you're introducing parts of a plant. As the students to carry, even in the online scenario, well, friends, whatever I'm suggesting now, it is all definitely possible in the online context as well. Simple example, role play in science. You're teaching parts of the plant to grade 4 child. Instead of you bringing a video on the device screen, you tell the students to bring plant, as in to come on camera. And one child can say, I am the root and talk about the roots. Another child can show the stem part and say, I am stem. The third child can show the leaf and say, I am leaf and these are my characteristics. Even in the online scenario, these are all possible. Flip classes, online scenario again, it is a beautiful strategy. You're all aware of what flip classes mean. So I will not go at length into the flip classes because time is one thing we have to remember. Group discussions are very much possible. Slogan writing, whatever is a thing, it could be save environment, it could be pollution. Allow the children to link it to reality of life and help them to write slogans. Collage making, you decide a theme. It could be a group activity, it could be an individual activity. Give them some period, ask them to do some research through printed materials like newspaper cuttings or periodicals or magazines. Let them cut the relevant content, paste it on the chart paper and give a suitable theme and present it. This is again workable in online classes as well. Experimentation. What is science without experimentation? Okay, now activities in virtual scenario. What do these images tell about? Yeah, Kahut is a nice answer. Well, what do these images tell about? Role play in an offline mode or online mode? Role play in virtual class or offline class? This is online class. This is, I have included a slide for the benefit of those teachers who feel it is not possible to introduce MI during online classes. This is example of dramatization in online scenario. It is definitely workable. Now, activities based on MI in online scenario, I have already explained. I would still like to reiterate, most of the activities proposed are possible in the virtual scenario. The teachers need to believe it is possible. Educators have to think out of the box. Certainly, you will be able to reach out to them. When you plan your lesson plans, think of the activities or pedagogies which are possible in the online content. For example, flip classes, role play, dramatization, flashcard making, chart making, demonstration of the science experiments or demonstration of whatever explanation you're doing. For example, I spoke about demonstrating the parts of a plant. Likewise, collage making, these are all the examples which can be, or rather, pedagogies or activities or teaching methodologies or instructional practices which can be certainly used in a virtual scenario or online classes as well. Only thing is, you must plan your activities well ahead of time and inform your children about it well ahead of time so that they are ready with the required materials. Now, some tips for students, teachers, and parents. Involve children in multiple activities like singing, dancing, acting, crawling, solving, puzzle, sports, etc. Automatically, it caters to multiple intelligences. Provide a variety of manipulatives like clay, fabric, blocks for experimentation. As you're all aware, CBSE is promoting toy pedagogy these days and gamification also these days. So try to cater to those kind of pedagogies because that again is a brilliant pedagogy to cater to multiple intelligences. Identify the competency hidden in your child. I already told the first 2 days should be to identify what kind of a learner you have in your class so that you can plan your pedagogy. Create opportunities to hone their competences, whether it is online class or offline class. This is my all-time favorite quote, quoted by Albert Einstein. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid, I unquote. That means to say, we need to identify what kind of intelligence my student has and cater to that kind of a learner with suitable pedagogy and suitable kind of assessment as well. I end my presentation. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. In fact, I had told 6 o'clock I will end, and sharp 6 o'clock I'm ending my presentation. I have wonderful responses from the audience. Okay. Abha, I will stop sharing my screen here now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Sujata ma'am. I'll just... So it was really a wonderful session, Sujata ma'am, such an enriching session you have conducted today. And you have explained this topic so explicitly, and also you have suggested a plethora of activities actually per subject. So I am sure teachers would have taken a note of it, and we are going to use these activities, as per guided by you. So now your teachers is question our time. So I'll just put a few questions to you, ma'am, which I find relevant to the topic and which I feel you can answer now, because most of the questions you've already answered while you're presenting the topic. Yeah. So shall I start, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. So, out of the many questions which we could find out, which we have gone through in the Google form and also in the chat, one of the question is how to assess MI-based activities.
This is a very important question because as per CBSE, any activity we take up, assessment strategies are very important. You need to design the rubrics according to the activity you are conducting. For example, if you are conducting dramatization, it is an activity which caters to multiple intelligences. There is kinesthetic part involved in it, there is linguistic part involved in it, there is logical part involved in it. So you design the rubrics which assess the students' intelligences. For example, confidence can be one parameter, your presentation skills can be another parameter, your physical presentation, how you carry out with your body language can be one parameter, your flow of thoughts, your ideas can be another parameter. So depending on the activity you are going to use to assess the MI, please design the rubrics. If it is something to do with probably logical learner, or probably I can say numerical linguistic, numerically skilled child, then probably it will be analysis, it will be your creative skills, it will be your critical thinking skills. Again, presentation becomes one of the common rubrics for all the activities. I hope that answers the query of the teachers who have asked this question.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much. The next question is, how am I testing be applied in a divergent class?
Oh, wonderful. This is a favorite question of mine because every class is a group of heterogeneous learners. Students come from different cultural backgrounds. They come from different culture, not just cultural. Some parents are educated, some parents are not educated. Some students are from underprivileged section. But as an educator, when I meet them, they're all the same for me. So it is very important to identify what kind of learner I have in the class. As I told during the session, first 2 days, spend some time interacting with the children, use multiple pedagogists, try to identify the kind of learners you have in your class, and then plan your activities, plan your pedagogies accordingly.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I'll take one more question. Scope for MI in 21st century.
Okay. 21st century skills is another concept CBSE is advocating. NAP also speaks about preparing our students for 21st century. And if you are able to integrate pedagogies or activities to hone the multiple intelligences of the students, automatically you are preparing your students to face the challenges of the future. They are 21st century students. If you are 21st century teacher, I'm sure you're going to make your students also 21st century students. Because if you know 21st century skills, it talks about helping the children to hone their critical thinking skills, creativity, innovation, collaboration, communicative skills, above all communicative skills. Now, when you're integrating MI-based activities in your classroom, automatically all these aspects get covered under the pedagogies. So there is a direct link between MI, CBE, and 21st century skills.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll take two more questions, ma'am. Integration of MI in the lesson plan, like how it can be done.
Yes, as I told, first thing is let us have an understanding of what kind of learners we have in our class. And when you plan for your pedagogy, depending on the topic, you introduce one pedagogy, or probably different sections of the lessons can have different kind of pedagogy. And when you plan your lesson ahead of time itself, if you can identify the kind of pedagogy, what suits your learners, and make it a part of lesson plan, it will enable the teacher to prepare her teaching aids, her strategies accordingly. So integrating your pedagogy based on MI in the lesson plan definitely benefits you to plan your lessons well and connect with the students in a meaningful manner. And I'm sure children are going to be benefited out of this. And friends, just attending the session, filling the link and getting the e-certificate should not be your goal. Whatever learning points you have acquired during this session, please take it back to your school, discuss with your peers, discuss with your students, implement them to whatever extent possible. Then I will say this 1 hour of session is going to be fruitful and productive. And I will also feel satisfied. Okay, something has been transferred. My ideas have been shared with many educators. Let us make these sessions productive and fruitful. Over to you, Abha.
Yeah, last question. This is a question which is always, I find, a common question. How can we manage time while catering to MI for students in a class? Time is always it's always short, actually, with the teachers.
Very true, very true. I totally agree, dear friends. Especially in the virtual class scenario, it is really going to be a little problematic. But what I would suggest, especially for senior grades, the topics which are simple can be given for self-learning, because self-learning is another strategy strongly advocated by CBSE. And as I told in the beginning for the previous question, let your pedagogy be planned in such a way it caters to multiple intelligences. Never go for chalk and talk method or simple lecture method. It is a redundant method. It is not going to help either you or the students. Chalk and talk method are gone now, and the lecture method, which is one-way traffic, is probably not going to help the children. So I know you all have your micro lesson plans. A lesson has been divided into 3 or 4 segments. In every segment, you introduce pedagogy which caters to divergent learners. So you don't have to take out special time to engage the students in MI-based activities. Your regular teaching learning transaction can happen through MI-based activities. That is going to save a lot of time.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really, really wonderful. And all the answers are actually, I think now the audience would be satisfied with the answers. And I would like to add here that, yes, this is a kind of, if we say it, take it as a problem, the time is a problem, then we also have to apply the problem solving techniques, because as a teacher, if we want to inculcate problem solving in our students, then we also should be capable of, designing our lessons in a way that we can use the time in a productive manner, and also our difficulty is sorted. So I can only say, let's try it, because in words of Harivansh Rai Bachchan ji, like, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती और लहरों से डरकर कभी नैया पार नहीं होती. So let's try it. Okay. So my takeaways, thank you so much, Sujata ma'am. Now I will be just concluding the session. Till now you have been so active, dear teachers, and such a wonderful participation you have done. So now what I say, just bear with us for a few more minutes, and let me, express my gratitude, and then we will share the attendance link. So that would be great from your part. So I would just say my takeaways from this session are: the MI integration will make teaching learning transaction effective. It will help students build competencies. It will also help students develop 21st century skills. And we have also got many activities. So you can also write your takeaways here. And thank you, ma'am. So now I'll be just presenting the...
Abha, with your permission, I would like to thank Dr. Salam for bringing me on board once again and giving me this opportunity. I would like to thank all the participants from the bottom of my heart. What an amazing audience you are also interactive. It was a great feeling to connect with you, though virtually. So this is again MI, I must say, right? A brilliant audience, I must say, and thank you, Abha, for moderating so beautifully. Thank you so much, Salam.
Thank you so much, and I'm really grateful. Let me express my gratitude to you all now.
Over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. So I'll start again, begin with the quote. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. So I'm grateful to Bharat Sahodaya for giving me this opportunity to do this noble act of expressing gratitude to one and all connected to this webinar. I, on behalf of Bharat Sahodaya, express my heartfelt gratitude and a deep sense of appreciation to Dr. Sujata for conducting such a wonderful and enriching session. I'm sure all the teachers have certainly got a direction to move on. My sincere thanks to our guest for today, Dr. Anas, for gracing the webinar by his presence. Thank you so much, sir, for joining with us. My very special thank and gratitude to Dr. Salam for his exceptionally humble behavior and unparalleled support and guidance. A big thanks to you from bottom of my heart, sir. A special thanks to very sound and highly talented technical team of Bharat Sahodaya for smooth conduction of the event on Zoom. It was a very thoughtful decision to switch from Google Meet to Zoom. See how many participants we have today. Last but not the least, my heartfelt gratitude to the education fraternity for their participation and invaluable support to today's webinar. Thank you all, lots of love and God bless. But before ending this session, I would like to show you the glimpses of the poster of our next webinar, that is 44th webinar by Sahodaya. A very important topic is being covered in the webinar, emotional immunity and well-being. But before that, I'll be just posting the attendance link, which you can fill in. So, Salam sir, just give me a minute.
Yeah,
sir, I will be giving, I'll just show the poster and then I'll be sharing the screen to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so just let me share it. So this is the poster for our next webinar, which we'll be sharing very soon. Salam sir, as usual, will be quickly sharing it with all the details. So our resource person for the webinar, 44th webinar, is Ms. Kala Mohan. Miss Annie will be moderating the event. Mr. Prakash Warrior is the chief guest or guest for the webinar. So that is all for me. It was really a wonderful session. Moderating this kind of session is actually a very fruitful experience for me, sir. Thank you, Salam, sir, for giving me this opportunity, and over to you now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, Sujata ma'am, you have given a very insightful presentation, and I'm pretty sure our participants have benefited from your session. It was a non-stop and very energetic and insightful session. Thank you so much, Sujata ma'am, and really a power-packed moderation from Abha Singh ma'am. And the enthusiastic participants, I would like to, bring a few words to your attention that multiple intelligence we have chosen as part of your session because it go hand in hand with competency building, and they are the same with art integrated learning. Just suppose you are giving an assignment to the children. For example, you are giving an environmental issue. For example, a factory is polluting the premises, a neighborhood, and you are asking the students to come up with a project. Students will sing a song or a poem based on the pollutions, and they will draw posters and they exhibit. They will make banners or placards, and they will write letters and etc. etc. All the multiple intelligence are applicable to in this project. So let us all try as much as possible, and let's make our teaching learning very fruitful, very meaningful. Thank you so much, all the participants. Once again, Sujata ma'am and Abha ma'am and the team. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Abu Dhabi, the Model School Abu Dhabi, for facilitating this session. Thank you so much, and keep watching. Next is coming up on 19th. Thank you so much. Over to Abha ma'am. You can wind up. And
sir, yes, sir. I think I faced little problem. I'm not sure whether the attendance link has been forwarded or not. If you can do the needful, sir. From my end, I'm not able to do it.
Okay. Let me try.
I think there's something wrong in the connectivity.
Okay.
Have you all got the link, teacher? If you can give an indication to me, just an indicator, because I'm not able to.
It's given. I have just posted.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. My net just got a little unstable. So thank you so much, everyone. It was really wonderful being with you. Thank you so much, Sujata ma'am, once again. Salam, sir. And I think I have not taken the name of one person. I'm not able to just, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, once again. So I think now we can end the meeting, Salam, sir, with your permission. I'm really not able to see because here the weather is really nice, but not so good. It's pleasant to see, but not good for the internet connectivity. So I'll
correct. You're stuck also. Your video is stuck, and you're audible still.
Okay.
A lot of people are facing this internet, connectivity, especially Kerala is going to experience a tornado. In 2 days. So that's why there is heavy rain here.
Okay. So Arun Mohan, sir, your name I was not able to remember. Sorry, short-term memory loss. Arun Mohan, sir,
no,
thank you so much. So let's end the meeting. So I can end the meeting now, or I think it will be done
yes. And also, Mr. Arafat, you can stop the live stream.
Yeah. So kindly do the needful, because I think here I cannot. Just a minute. I think I will not be able to end the meeting. The host will have to end the meeting.
Yes. We'll do it. We'll do the needful, and I think everybody got. Sujata ma'am, are you there?
I hope. Thank you so much. People are appreciating. So thank you so much for being so patient. But actually speaking, these sessions may take time, and the technical things are not in our hands. So yes, initially there were some glitches which we faced, and it's okay. We are competent to finally we could conclude the session nicely. So that
and
all that ends is
How do you feel now at the end of
I
the
feel
show?
awesome, sir. I feel highly elated. I feel awesome. And the weather is also good. I will, after the session, I'll just sit in my balcony and I'll relax and have a nice cup of tea.
Okay,
the
thank
weather
you
is
all
really nice
very much for the nice job.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
It is all because of your support, sir.
Welcome.
And guidance. Thank you so much
Sujata ma'am
for
has
giving
gone?
me this opportunity. Sujata ma'am, are you there, ma'am? If you are there, we can just see you. If your camera can be switched on. Sujata ma'am, are you there? I think ma'am has left. Sujata ma'am, are you there?
All right, ma'am. We can wind up, and Arun Mohan, sir. Mr. Arun Mohan.
Please, on those who are here, show your participation to the same and even more in the coming webinars by Bharat Sahodaya, and keep watching the YouTube channel.
Still, they are asking for this one.
Form? Okay, I'll try.
Yeah. Don't worry, we will be sending them through mail also.
Yeah, so it's not actually, whenever I'm clicking on the chat, it is getting stuck. So I'm not able to do it. I don't know what is happening.
Connectivity issue.
Connectivity issue is there. Yeah, I'm not able to do it. So you will have to do it from your end, sir.
Okay. So shall we stop here?
Yes, sir. Oh, don't worry, participants. You'll be getting a mail because you have already filled in the in your Google form that you. So we will be sending you through mail. Don't worry. Okay, sir. Yeah, it has come now.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Mr.
Thank you so much.
Mohan, are you there?
So
Arun Mohan. Hello.
Yes, Eid Mubarak. Sir, people are wishing you.
Thank you, everybody. We celebrated it yesterday.
Yeah, like some are celebrating today. Some are celebrating today.
In North and all, it's today. Yeah.
Yes. So happy Eid Mubarak to all. Let's pray for the goodness and good health of everyone around.
Is Mr. Arun Mohan there? Or?
I don't know, sir, actually. Arun, sir, are you there? You will have to end the meeting, or else. So you are the host, right? So no, model school.
I made him the host because I have connectivity issues.
So model school I can see. Model school with the name model school I can see. So
model school also.
Hello, sir.
Sawad is there. Sawad,
yes, sir. This is Kailas.
Kailas, please. Thank you so much.
Yes,
you can end the show.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kailash.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.